Coming up on today's Cowboys Report, some more changes. Schottenheimer has confirmed there are going to be some. I've got 6-ish, I'm cheating, players who should play more, and 6 kind of cheating again, and it ends up being almost like 10 and 10. Who should play less? Because if you're playing someone more, you got to play somebody less. Do you want the Cowboys to be better after the bye week? If you do, show it by liking today's video, please, and thank you. Free, simple, easy to do. Like the video if you haven't already done so. So we'll go who you should play more and who you should play less of, and we'll reveal them at the same time. First up, Ryan Flournoy should play more, and the combination of KaVontae Turpin, Jalen Tolbert should play less. I will say, this one has pretty much already happened. It might not show it in like the touches perspective, but snap count-wise, Ryan Flournoy is the wide receiver 3 right now for the Dallas Cowboys. First week, I'm like, maybe it's just Turpin on a pitch count, coming back from the foot injury. Week 9, though, it was 2-1 combined. Flournoy played 45 snaps. KaVontae Turpin played 13. Jalen Tolbert played 7. Like, there is a very clear pecking order, not in the touches and target side of things, but in, like, who actually gets to be on the field. And I think Flournoy's athletic ability, being able to be deployed in, really, I think, slot and out wide, which Tolbert can do a little bit of, but he offers more juice. I think that is a key factor. And I think just reliability is a huge thing here, too. Look, KaVontae Turpin can't catch well enough. He's not consistent. Not that he can't catch, period. But stop jumping. That is a huge issue for KaVontae Turpin. He does it all the time. He jumps for passes he has no business jumping for so he can trap it against somebody. He's not a natural hands catcher. Jalen Tolbert has been better there. Ryan Flournoy doesn't have a drop yet this year per Pro Football Reference. Also worth mentioning, I don't even have Jonathan Mingo on here because he can't get active. At some point that will change, but I don't know if and when it happens this year. Probably at some point. But of these options, who would you rather be the wide receiver 3 behind? Obviously, Pickens and Lamb. RF for Ryan Flournoy, KT for KaVontae Turpin, JT for Jalen Tolbert, or JM for Jonathan Mingo. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show. Forgot to mention we're doing 3-3 on offense and 3-3 on defense because that's nice and round. Brevy Spann-Ford over Luke Schoonmaker. I've kind of felt this way for a while, and had Spann-Ford not gotten hurt in camp, maybe we've already gotten to this point. I think it's time to ignore the draft position and just play the tight end who offers more upside in the running game and the passing game. Now, it has not shown up yet in the passing game because the one big catch Spann-Ford had in garbage time, admittedly, got called back. But Schoonmaker has more drops than touchdowns over the course of his career, which you cannot have in football. That's really bad. And the thing that everyone liked about Schoonmaker was, he'll block for you. He doesn't block that great. This is PFF, so we can asterisk it if we want to. But Spann-Ford is way better. He's also just bigger. He's like 6'7", 270. Like, he's a huge human being that gives you really good size at tight end, and I would rather see Spann-Ford than Schoonmaker going forward. Now, this isn't quite the same hoodie. It's not quite 1-to-1. It's a little bit different on that left sleeve. They got the Cowboys logo. I don't. It's not quite the same pattern behind the star. It's a little bit different. It's as close as I've seen to the hoodie that I wear and many of you guys have asked about. This hoodie and more are on sale at chatsports.com/Cowboys hoodies. Perfect, Christmas list item for yourself as the weather turns or to get a Cowboys fan in your life who you love. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/Cowboys hoodies. And also the full zip versions. There's a ton of them that are on sale up to 40% off. Next up, this one also confirmed, Nathan Thomas and Terence Steele. We have a battle here, folks, and this is concerning big picture, I suppose. The Cowboys bench Terence Steele against the Cardinals. A battle is underway between Terence Steele and Nathan Thomas at the right tackle position. Schottenheimer called it an open competition. I would be surprised if he meant anything other than Thomas and Steele, since that's what the switch was against the Cardinals, which I thought Steele getting benched against Cardinals was reasonable. He had a couple missed assignments in the passing game and the run game. There's been some frustration there in the past. They kind of did the plan, like one drive switch as well earlier this year. Thomas was good the first drive he was in. That final drive and a half, he was bad. He got beat a lot. And that was also a weird spot for both parties. Terence Steele was battling migraines. Nathan Thomas was coming in off of a surprise insert in the lineup. It's tricky there. Over the course of the season, I am unconvinced that Nathan Thomas has been the better tackle so far. I don't know if that's true based on what we've seen on the film, but it might just be time to find out one way or the other. Terence Steele's ceiling certainly seems like we know what it is. He hasn't hit it enough recently. We don't really know what Nathan Thomas is. So it could be worse. It could be better. I do think Schottenheimer treating this as the open competition approach is the right one so far. And we'll see how it plays out. So I assume Thomas is going to be a popular answer here. Name a player who you want to play more. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Drop it for me in the comments of today's video. I really cheated on the defensive side. It's multiple across the board. Number one is your new linebackers against the old regime. I want to see what type of boost the Dallas Cowboys get with Logan Wilson out there and with DeMarvion Overshown. That is what I want to see. I am whatever about how the rest of it plays out in terms of this linebacker room. Like, I would assume Maris Liufau ends up being involved in that still strong side linebacker role, which hasn't done a ton of so far. Like, not that much base, could do more 5-man fronts and do more 2 linebacker stuff. Kenneth Murray will probably still play a little bit along with Wilson without. I want to see what the snap count, this breakdown, everything else looks like. Because I don't know how it's going to play out. I want to see Logan Wilson out there. I don't think he was great this year for the Bengals. I think they got bigger issues than him at linebacker. Frankly, I thought he was outplaying the other guys on that team. I really want to see DeMarvion Overshown. I think he is an extremely talented player. I don't want to get my hopes out of whack, but I need him to make an impact. I wouldn't be surprised if a less is more approach gets deployed with Shamar James. There are times he just I think is going a little bit too fast trying to make the play and doesn't read it right, and I think kind of gets info overload at times. Maybe fewer snaps, more defined role of just you get 20 snaps, whatever, helps him. I would not be upset if Kenneth Murray's off my screen forever. I would not be upset by that. Will it happen this week? I honestly don't know what that linebacker deployment will look like. I think there's a real chance we see all 4 guys and Liufau, and Clark ends up being a healthy scratch again. But I am extremely curious to see what it looks like, and I hope it leans more towards the Wilson Overshown version if those guys look good. Cowboys Report is free. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out on anything here on the channel. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. Some players to start and some players to sit. On the cornerback side, the secondary in general is just so incredibly messy. I'm going to go with Shavon, Revel, Caelen Carson. Let's play them. And maybe less Kaiir Elam, Trikweze Bridges. Now, the Cowboys already overdue. Kind of began the Caelen Carson in, Trikweze Bridges out swap last time we saw them play against the Cardinals. That was they're just picking on DaRon Bland game nonstop. Carson really wasn't involved much on the field, but snap count-wise, a clear change. Kaiir Elam played 41. Caelen Carson played 28. Reddy Stewart, in part getting some run at safety, had 26. Bridges had 7. Look, Bridges is not an NFL starting cornerback, and I don't know if he's ever going to be. Just kind of how it goes. He's just not good enough. And Kaiir Elam hasn't been very good either. He's been picked on a lot, even outside of the red zone. It has not been impressive. I want to see what the youth has. What can Caelen Carson do? He fits some of that zone stuff better for Matt Eberflus as well. He's young. The ceiling, because of the unknown of the ceiling, seems higher. Not to mention, I don't know how involved Shavon Revel will end up being for this Dallas Cowboys team, but I do want to see him out there. Schottenheimer has praised him. The coaching staff has praised him. They probably aren't going to overload him, but hey, wouldn't it be cool if Caelen Carson, Shavon Revel, and DaRon Bland can make it work or at least on passing downs. Maybe like on run downs, they keep Reddy Stewart in the nickel where he's been a pretty good run support player and don't put Revel out there and run defense. That wouldn't shock me on early downs, but like being nice if you could feel good by the end of the year about these younger corners. So a minimum, you have to bench one of these guys, and we'll leave Reddy Stewart out of it just for like outside corner focus here. Who you bench it? SR for Shavon Revel, CC for Caelen Carson, KE for Kaiir Elam. Final player to start and who to sit, Dante Fowler and James Houston compared to Sam Williams. Look, the reason why this has been happening is run defense stuff. And the snap counts are kind of jarring. The Cowboys have a clear-cut top two. It's Ezraku and Clowney. And they actually played Ezraku a lot because he's been a lot better as a run support player than I thought he might be. I was concerned about, like, would it translate from Boston College being smaller? No issues so far. Sam Williams, I don't want to see him be my third defensive end anymore. I can't. I understand that the Cowboys do not like playing Dante Fowler and James Houston in run support situations. They're lighter players. They're not designed to hold up as edge setters. But that only works in the event that the other guys are doing their jobs. And frankly, 54 is not. Again, run defense stats per PFF. Sam Williams, about the same amount of snaps as Dante Fowler and James Houston combined. The run defense grades are startling. It's 39 for Sam Williams. He's been a huge liability. He never plays gap sound football. He's not consistently enough does he play gap sound football. Dante Fowler, James Houston, they'll only throw their shoulders around. Put him out there. I think in the end, it's going to be a lot of easy, a lot of Clowney. How the other members of that defensive end rotation, do they do some linebacker overhang stuff when they do some of that three-down line looks with Quinn Williams and Kenny Clark and Oso Odigizua? I think is really intriguing to see how it plays out. The fun part is, mid-season, kind of getting a look at a revamped defense, which you don't normally get for the Dallas Cowboys.